Hello and welcome back. I am Arumba. Thank you for joining me. We're playing some EU4 Granada. I think that's, I don't know. That sounds like maybe how you're supposed to say it, considering that the province named is Granada. Granada. I don't know. Anyway, I looked through all the modifiers on here and I don't see anything about coring or not. So we're just gonna core it and not worry about it. I don't want to think about it anymore. I don't know. There might be something in there. Aragon has laid a claim to Castile. If the ruler of Castile should die without an heir, they might form a personal union. Well, so long as he keeps his alliance with me, that would mean that we would have the rest of the Iberian Peninsula as our ally, and then we could use him against Portugal, maybe. Unless they become friends. He's rival to England. Who am I rival to right now? I am rival to Castile, Portugal. And I can rival Fez. Who hates Fez? Castile hates Fez. Tlemcen hates Fez. Hafsid hates Fez. As expected. He's on tech 7. 6, 7. Castile's fallen behind a little bit. Portugal's fallen behind. We could take tech 8 right now, but we're going to hold off, hoping to get banking. Let's see. I'm going to top off relations, I think, with some of my subjects. We've got you at 100 improved relations. There is a much reduced cap. You can only improve relations with subjects by plus 100 in M&T. In vanilla, you can go up to plus 200 with subjects, 100 with everyone else. So, Bosnia returns cores to Croatia. So, lots going on down here. And looks like Ottoman. Just one. There's just one Ottoman. Attack against Bulgaria in the Ottoman-Bulgarian War for the Sultanate of Rum. I do remember someone mentioning a couple videos back about the, what was it called? Something dynacism? Core dynacism? Or something like that. So, like, if I had occupied Cadiz because I already had a core on it, maybe it would have just gotten transferred to me for free. Which may have saved us some time on something. I'm not sure. CB Conquest, difficult communication as their CB. Okay, yeah, Fitzgerald. What? Okay, I see. Okay, so Fitzgerald... Here, close that. Fitzgerald has superb communication here. This is his capital, so he's got instant communication, but I'm guessing he has no port. No port here. And he's got no land connection to Das Mochmain. And there's probably no port here either. So that means that it's got... Quick communication. Well, quick is not very slow. I don't know. It's probably something to do with the fact that they are disconnected. Speaking of communication, I wonder how ours looks these days. Cordoba is excellent. Good. Rapid. Sharia law. All Islamic countries base their laws on Sharia. Gain piety. Lose legitimacy. Diplotech cost goes up by 1%. Stability increase interval goes down. The death of our ruler. Or we can lose piety and lose some legitimacy. Well, I don't want to go below 50 because of the Peasants' War. But I do want to lose piety. We're currently at... Tolerance of the True Faith is at negative 0.15, so we're at negative 15 piety. Out of the maximum of negative 100. This will take us down to negative 25. Let's go ahead and do it. So our advisor cost is coming down, tech cost is coming down, becoming more tolerant. Well, of heretics and heathens, less so of the True Faith. Nobles demand recompensation. 40% chance that we lose 50 stability points. That's like an average there for that outcome of lost 20 stability points. 30% chance of losing 1 stability while we're at positive 1. So that's like 30% of 150, so 45. On average, we lose like 70. I don't know. I'll just pay the money. Stability is way too important, I think. Money's super important, stability even more important. How are we doing on stability, by the way? We have 119 stability points out of a threshold with a threshold of 200. Belgrade has entered an alliance with Fez. Alright. Belgrade hates Jared. Just somebody that doesn't really matter. Trying to think here. Embargoed by Granada is at negative 37.7. We're decent at embargoing him. Despite the fact that Toothless Embargoes is at negative 60. Damn! I swear that started off at negative 20. The burgers must be getting stronger and stronger, and that's why that thing is becoming more and more significant. I really want to revoke that Toothless Embargo thing. We have 42 loyalty with the burgers. Demand money on the pretense of a loan. That's really a lot of money. The threshold is not, it's not 40%, not like in vanilla, it's 30%. So we could do it. Let's take a look at what would happen if we were to revoke a privilege. If we were to revoke the Toothless Embargoes, instead of Toothless Embargoes, we would not go all the way down to nothing, we would go down to diminished embargoes. So revoking this would cost me dip and admin. It would also increase the stability increase interval plus 20%. So it would reduce our multiplier. And then after this event triggers, in red, it's easy to skip this. Revoking a privilege will also be accompanied by a potential loss of stability once the estate has considered the news. The potential loss is scaled with the power of your estate. So we're going to most likely lose at least 1 stab, maybe I think even as much as 3 stability if we were to revoke this thing. Which is why I'm valuing stability so much. Trying to get it up so that I can remove some of these privileges that they've earned. Still, if we were to consider the fact that going from 1 to 2 is 200 points instead of 150, I think it does make sense to try to stay below 1 and keep the interval that you increase the stability at a lower number. You get more effective stability over time that way. The risk is we would go negative stability, which could trigger the Peasants' War to take up. And unfortunately, there's no way to like cancel the decision after you've decided to try doing it. Before we try it, I want to just embargo Genoa and see if the 5% trade efficiency penalty still applies in M&T. Right now, our trade efficiency is at 14%. Normally, in vanilla, when you embargo a non-rival, it costs you 5% trade efficiency. And that still applies, trade embargo. So we've got a costly embargo. It's not a huge amount of trade power, and he does, or did, have quite a bit. Let's see if this makes our trade income go up or down on the next monthly tick. 3.59 is what we made last month. Yeah, we made money by doing that. So this alert... No. I'm not gonna listen to you, game. What is this? We got a devastating famine happening. Let's just keep that on that side of the water, please. Please do. Yep. I want to get as close as I can to getting the next stab without getting the next stab. If that makes sense. I want to be at like 190 or 191 or like 195, somewhere up there. So that if we revoke the privileges from the burger's decision and then we lose stab, we'll end up being over the threshold, and then like on the next monthly tick, we'll just immediately go back up on stab, preferably above 0, and not have the Peasants' War kick my butt. It's my game plan. I wonder how these guys are doing on their cores. Yeah, working on making it a core. It's slow going. Autonomy was at like 95%. It's coming down pretty quick. Part of the state, minus 0.25. High local autonomy makes the autonomy come down quicker. We're actually losing like nearly 1% every month right now. And it looks like we can embrace an institution. So we've earned the institution of banking in Granada. Is now spreading to these provinces. It's going to spread so slowly that... Wait 4 years. Save some cash. What's the cost for Seville? Oh, it's only 2.7 ducats. That's pretty cheap overall. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. Really? Alright, I'm confused by this. Seville is only 2.73 ducats. 1.05 population. 1.05 population. There's 16 people living here. What? The most expensive one is Malacca. $13 pop. Seville, 16 pop. Why is this one so much more expensive? Is it maybe due to the disparity in, like, in religion? These are Catholics. Oh, it's the autonomy. Right, it's the autonomy. The fact that they're 93.4% highly autonomous means that it costs, like, nothing. So it would actually be good for me to raise autonomy if I wanted to save money. Because of the way that they handled institution embracement in vanilla. So if I raise autonomy here, we would lose some absolutism, which is centralization. That tooltip still needs to get updated. This is controlled by the burghers, if I remember correctly. So what if I did the decade of self-rule? What if we did to offer favors, a decade of self-rule, allow all of these guys to go up in autonomy? This doesn't affect absolutism. We gain stability points. And then the autonomy is just going to come right back down. We gain loyalty. Loyalty, stab, and it'll be cheaper to embrace the institution. Sounds great. Let's do that. So it was like 100 ducats to embrace the institution. Now it's only 78. That seems pretty good. Apparently the minimum is 1 ducat. And does absolutism trend in any direction? I think we had turned on a policy at one point to force it up. I could always just... Well, you have to keep that on for 10 years. Probably don't want to do that. I think we just pay the ducats at this point. I mean, that still saved me like 25 ducats. This is alright. Granted, I'm going to lose 25 ducats due to the autonomy, but I also picked up loyalty of the burghers, so we can do other stuff to them. Where in the hell is the interface? Here we go. Let's embrace banking. And then we'll go ahead and take the tech now. Base cost of 400. It cost us 456. Can't do anything about the fact that meritocracy is not present. Let's go ahead and take that. And we will upgrade to a new unit type. We had the Faris Heavy Cavalry. Focusing on shock damage. Definitely want to focus on offensive or defensive morale? Offensive. Mongol Cavalry. Obviously, we're the Mongols. Alright, cool. Cool. Nice thing is that most of our money's come from trade anyway, so having more autonomy doesn't really affect too much, so long as we still have good trade income. And that's not true at all, actually. We just lost like half of our income. My bad. I was wrong. It's fine. Most of it's going to be going to the derps. Speaking of the derps, why don't we actually take some time to assess them? I haven't done this in a while. So if we visit them all, the greater nobles have 73 ducats to their name. They make 14 ducats a year. They've got 1 whole infantry, 5 privileges. The lesser nobles have quite a pile of cash. They're making, wow, a lot more than the greater nobles. They have twice the power, but still only 1 unit. And the burghers have a lot of cash, 680 ducats, an annual income of 100. They control 50% of our land. So they're very strong right now. You know, if the chance to lose stability is tied to the strength of the country, maybe it would be better to weaken the greater nobles and then try to revoke their privileges. There's even a decision, I think, to demote greater nobles. This would convert them from greater nobles to lesser nobles, but I think that really drastically affects their loyalty. It was also bugged when I played it last, so... I want to know more about what your privileges are. You've got one that's affecting our tradition and military tech costs, discipline, production efficiency, and tax, local tax. Reinstate yield tax. I don't like how in these two it doesn't say decorative officer posts will be removed. Isn't it? I'm trying to revoke a privilege. Shouldn't it say, like, you're gonna lose one? I want to try it. I feel like rolling the dice. We'll get rid of the yield tax. Hopefully it works. Let's wait a day. Get the event, and see how much stability we lose. It's not going to be good. Greater nobles generally accept reforms. Your diplomatic and political maneuvering had some success in getting the greater nobles to tolerate your reforms. Most consider it fair and necessary, though it's important to recognize that such adjustments within your society always run the risk of unanticipated consequences. That went better than anticipated. Still, 25% chance we lose one stab. Yeah, sweet, we didn't lose any. Awesome. Which means it's time to go revoke another one. You cannot revoke a privilege from this estate. Am I looking at the wrong one? Interesting. This is different than I remember when I was trying it in the beta. You cannot revoke a privilege. It used to be that it was separated by estates, but actually in the tooltip it says 4 months remaining. Months remaining 4. So maybe they just put like a 6-month cooldown on being able to do this. This one, we revoked from the greater nobles. That one shows 118 months. That's 10 years. This one shows 4. Alright, yeah, it looks like a 6-month window now to block you from accidentally revoking like this favors or privileges from all 3 estates all at once. And then just going straight down to -0, like negative 3 stab, which would probably be bad. That would be my guess. Okay, our guy's 29. If he were to die with our strong claim, we would actually have pretty darn good numbers. Fitzgerald lost land due to the CB Conquest difficult communication. Go ahead and take our admin idea. The next 8 years will be ahead of time. We get some production efficiency bonuses. Sweet. We also get some yearly corruption reduction. I don't think there's much else we can do to reduce this cost. So let's go ahead and do it. And now, we get to spend a little bit of time deciding what idea group to go for next. So, with that all being said, I will leave this open for a moment so you can take a look. And then I'm going to go and try to figure out what idea group I want to do next. So, thank you for watching. I'll look forward to seeing you again in the next episode. See you in a bit.